Would you like a little piece of salami as a snack?
I would.
Are you a cat?
I am a cool cat.
Are you blind when you're born?
Sure.
Can you see in the dark?
I want to.
Do you know how to get to the Heaviside layer?
My neck, my back, Scrimble Shanks the Railroad Cat. I did not make that up. I saw that on Twitter, but I figured you'd love that.
It's the best thing I've ever heard. Hey guys, welcome to Records and Reels episode 5. I'm Richie.
And I'm Ben.
This is Ben.
This is Richie.
Records and Reels episode 5. Bye-bye.
This month on Records and Reels. Dun-dun,
Bum, 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 bum.
We're looking at the films of one Mr.
Mell Brooks. You like how we said that like we're bad improvisers, but we have to like. But so the first film we are going to talk about is Poop-de Scoop-de Pants.
Man, that's a good one.
It's like that. Do you remember that SNL sketch that it was always Kristen Wiig and Fred Armisen, and they were like the couple that would try to
Garth
do
and Cat.
Garth and Cat.
That's a great skit.
Say, oh, yeah. And then we go say, oh.
But that's not what we're talking about today.
No,
we're talking about Mell Brooks' 1968 classic.
The Producers.
Yes. The Producers. We're talking about the original 1968 version, as I said, not the 2005 musical comedy starring Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick and Uma Thurman.
Yep, originally on Broadway before the movie.
But, we'll talk about that.
Yes,
don't you worry.
So let's kind of start this movie from the get-go. Let's just go right into it. Let's just dive. The words of Philip DeFranco. Let's just dive right into it.
Put a little Mel
So
Brooks
the movie
right there.
starts with Zero Mostel stooping an old lady.
You're not wrong.
It's true.
I'm just laughing at how funny that is.
Well, of course, if we're going to talk Mel Brooks, I got to add in some of the Yiddish.
Yeah, exactly.
For the whole thing. So there they are stooping.
They're there. And what a great name, first and foremost, can I say? Zero Mostel.
Zero Mostel is an amazing name.
Great name for a great man.
Yep.
He's, what'd you say, stooping?
Stooping.
Stooping this old woman.
Yep.
And we get quick cut title cards, which I love.
Me too.
Best joke.
Mm-hmm.
Not best joke, but...
They work comedically. I mean, even the title cards work comedically. The way it cuts and freezes on his face.
They're comedy punctuation marks.
They are, yes. I completely agree with you there.
So he's stooping.
They're stooping.
And along comes your man, Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder playing Mr. Max Bialystock.
No, that's Zero Mostel. And then comes along a man named...
Gene Wilder
comes along a man
named Shit. And his name doesn't mean shit to anyone.
There comes a man named Gene Wilder along.
My favorite actor of all time.
Playing a man named Leopold Bloom.
Yes.
He's coming to visit Mr. Zero Mostel, playing the role of Max Bialystock, to discuss his taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And all crazy taxes. Call back.
I hate you.
But we're not going to go.
That was the best transition.
But you see,
and we're back.
There's comedy nonsense going all throughout the film.
Of course.
It's just funny because you have you expect when Max and Leo to meet, and Leo has a very entrance.
Yes, very
stammering entrance.
Well, I mean, he has to. The entrance itself is he's walking in on something he shouldn't be seeing.
Exactly. So, he's just all
like when I was 5.
So Leo walks in. He sees something he shouldn't have, and then he gets back out. Mm-hmm. But these two are just, let's say it right off the bat, Zero Mostel and Gene Wilder. I like seeing them work off each other.
Of course, to me, it's very much the same as like an Abbott and Costello type of buddy buddy duo, almost like Olivia Laurel and Hardy. Oliver Hardy and something Laurel.
Stan Laurel.
Stan Laurel.
I don't know if
a
that's
good old Beepo and ZP.
A big old white bread and gringo.
White bread and gringo. Gringo. Gringo.
It's funny you say that because it does start out that way. It does start out with Max being the big, loud, audacious, bombacious energy, and Leo being this little tepid
shy,
little mouse.
Yeah, a little timid.
But very quickly, there are moments of Gene Wilder like exploding with emotion, exploding with fear and verklempt.
Yes, verklempt. Oh, we got so verklempt. My blanket!
Oh,
that's
blanket.
mine!
That was a gag that I wasn't... I wasn't caught the first time around, but when I watched it this time, I was like, all right, that's pretty funny.
Exactly.
That's pretty good.
How he's just, it's making me... I'm wet and I'm hysterical! I'm hysterical and I'm wet!
Gene Wilder has the fortune of a very funny voice when he yells.
That and, I know I mentioned this before, Gene Wilder has the best comedic pause.
Yes.
Ever. He uses a pause to accentuate some of the best humor. Even if it's not a good joke, he can make it a good joke just by the way he pauses.
Exactly. He knows how to use it.
Yeah.
He knows what he's there for, and he knows how to use it.
Exactly. So from there, he discovers and he tells them this thing. You would have ended up making more money with a flop than with a hit.
Which I didn't I came into this film I had seen the musical. I loved the musical, and I'd seen the musical movie.
Yeah.
And I was a couple years ago when I first saw this, I was a little apprehensive about watching it because I was like, I don't know, like I love the other one so much. I don't know if I can love this one, but A, I did.
Yeah.
And B, it explained the money aspect a little better than the musical adaptation does.
Yes, well, I mean, because it is a musical, you do have to get to the song.
Right,
really.
Exactly.
So without having a song to get to, you can spend more time explaining and working on different things that work.
Yeah. And that's what I liked about this movie.
Yeah.
Of course, obviously, it comes first, so, like, it explains more.
Exactly.
It explains where it has to.
In this movie, so after he explains it and he tries to get him on board, what the musical would have been that song, We Can Do It, We Can Do It.
Right, exactly.
I mean, they could take that and they brought it down to one quick scene of them in the park, and it has one of my favorite little visual gags of them walking through the park, and Bialystok is holding Bloom's hand, and he's got a balloon, and he's got his thumb in his mouth as he's trying to, like, walk with him, just as a quick little tiny visual gag that they had to put in there to show his timidness and just...
I do like that. I like that scene, that little scene where he runs around the fountain as well.
Yes, and
as opposed, his motivation in this one is a little better explained. Like you can tell he's very nervous about doing it, but Max has to like pester him like all day to get this done.
Whereas in the musical, they give him the backing of like, I've always wanted to be a producer.
Right. And it just so happens.
In this movie, he never really said, I've always wanted to be a producer.
Right. Exactly.
I never could or something like that. So it's really up to Bialystok to give him that motivation.
Right.
And I feel like that's where this movie shines.
I also want to talk about in the park, there's a prime example of the style of comedy that Mell Brooks lives in. Mm-hmm. It's when they're talking to the hot dog vendor, and he goes, tender our compliments to the chef. And the hot dog vendor, of course, goes, tender me $50.
Yeah.
That very Borscht Belt, like, old school Catskills style of comedy that Mel Brooks got his start in.
Take my wife, please.
Exactly. Just that. Okay. It's very distinctive. And it's very fun to see. I can understand people not liking that as much. Mm-hmm. I can definitely understand that, but as a person who's just a goofball and who likes goofy things like that, I like it.
The way Mel Brooks plays with words
is
something that's amazing. You'll see coming up with Spaceballs when he yells, comb the desert, and they have combs. Or there's little tiny things like that he can make a joke, which is really funny.
Exactly.
Especially, I mean, you wouldn't even think tender my compliments to the chef. You wouldn't even think to make that a joke, but he just went tender me $50.
Right, exactly.
And that's how it worked there. So from the park, we now go to them finding
the worst script ever written.
And I think this is where we really see Zero Mostel work his magic in terms of physical and verbal comedy. Though one of my favorite scenes in this whole film is when he's leaning back and he's got the thing over him. Oh.
When he finally finds the perfect play.
Because Nathan Lane does that. You didn't think we get it. I didn't think we get it.
That's a perfect Nathan Lane.
Thank you. I practiced that actually just for this episode. But with Zero Mostel, who actually right before this I think was just doing or getting off of Broadway as Tevye in Fiddler on the Roof as well. I think that was like right before this or right after this film.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's that very verbal and physical humor that I really like from Zero Mostel.
The film also has the musical doesn't allow for these like little bits as much as the film does, such as the Boyd lady. The woman...
They got birds!
Dirty stinking birds! You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's the concierge.
I'm the concierge!
It's just a random little skit that's thrown into a story that really makes this film feel like New York. Can I say?
Yes, especially that sort of that, this is everyday life. This is our own Humans of New York Facebook page.
They're like not that fazed by it, but
because they're just like, oh, it's New York.
Weird.
But birds.
Birds.
Like, I just want to go to my apartment, man. Don't talk to me about birds. That would be me nowadays. It's like, they got birds. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
So from there we...
Can I also say that?
Yeah.
It's weird that Gene Wilder plays Willy Wonka, but Nathan Lane in that scene when they're talking to that woman and when they're talking to Franz Liebkin, he's wearing a Willy Wonka-esque suit.
He is.
It's very purple and shiny, and he has a hat on.
Right,
so,
exactly.
Would you watch Willy Wonka with Zero Mostel? Follow-up question, would you prefer a world where that was the case and it wasn't Gene Wilder?
Oh, God, no. What are you talking about? Gene Wilder is the OG Willy Wonka all the way.
But we don't know.
If I had to live in a world where Zero Mostel was
just
Willy Wonka...
yelling at kids about kids.
Just going, oh, this is a Wonka bar. I'd be like, all right, okay. But then he starts going, something peculiar, something peculiar. Which is also another great film that Zero Mostel stars in. Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. Another great Broadway musical as well. Very sex comedy of the 70s.
We should do a musical comedy week.
We should do a full musical season.
All right. Watch out for that.
Watch out for that.
Do it.
Yeah.
Let's write that down.
Jellicle cats, jellicle zoo.
Oh no!
So we found our flop. We found the play.
He's a German.
He's a German.
It's a play that is very supportive of Nazi Germany.
It's a Nazi party.
It's a Nazi party.
It's a Nazi party. Join us.
And they convinced this playwriter to let them do it.
Nazi party. They don't have a good time.
A very German stereotype, obviously.
Yep.
And he's still war-torn, even though it's 1968.
He's a man with delusions of grandeur.
Right.
Would you say this takes place in the 60s or the 50s?
I think it's present day.
You think it is present day, that 68 vibe?
I think so.
Really? Even with that whole style and talking in New York?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it would be like...
Never.
I feel like it would be too soon after
World War II. Yep. Okay. I'll
because like 1968's like just enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 25 years.
Yeah, exactly.
24 years.
It's
it
like,
works.
So
they go meet with Franz Liebkin, and the name of the play is
Springtime
for Hitler. Yes. This is where the movie gets weird.
This is where it gets weird.
Not him stuffing the lady in the beginning. That's fine.
Basically, they have to agree to be Nazis to.
They have to take an oath.
And you know what? They do it.
They do it because
they want that. Lord, I want that money.
I gotta get that money.
I love that when he just screams. It's just so. Like, it's just someone shouting their character motivation. It's just like, oh, I get it now.
Right? Exactly. And it works. So we have the script.
So we got the agreement.
We have the script. Apparently, they win the war. Yep. So apparently...
Well, not yet.
Not yet. Well,
not until they speak with the director.
The director, yes. And, he has a vision.
The director. All right, let's talk about this.
So the first best part about the director is his name, Roger Debris.
Roger Debris.
Of course, his last name means trash.
I did not know that.
Debris.
Oh, duh, stupid.
Debris, trash. Roger Debris. Very gay. Very gay.
Extremely gay.
Extremely gay. But hey, it's 2020 now. We can talk about it. We can talk about it back then. So,
with this film,
is homophobic.
It's at these parts with Roger and his assistant
Carmen Gia, which is also a famous car of the time.
Oh Jesus! It does the unfortunate thing of making the homosexuality the joke.
The butt of the joke, exactly.
If that weren't the case, if they were gay characters that were making jokes or making light of something else, then maybe it would get more of a pass. But
they tried to make a joke out of the shock of discovering someone being gay.
Right, exactly.
Which I mean, especially now, like, I had a friend tell me they were gay. I was like, all right, cool. So
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I was like, all right, cool.
I just don't want like some old people in our comments just being like,
yeah, that's right.
No, yeah. It's still funny. He was a visionary. Yeah. It's like, I mean, he was, but I mean, you know, some people, everybody makes mistakes.
But if you look at the musical later in life, they kind of do. It's I feel like it's in a better taste.
I think it is too, and I think it's playing off of the originals. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It takes the original, it looks at the original, and goes. It like reflects it.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta make it gay.
You gotta make it gay.
Make it happy. Make it snappy. Make it gay.
And I think that might be part of it, where they didn't double down hard enough. You know what I mean?
Yes. If you're going to dive into that, or you know what I mean, or to make jokes about a whole community of people,
right?
Make the characters aware that they're going to be doing it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's why I feel like in the newer 2005 movie musical, they're more self-aware that we're going to be joking about us being gay.
Right.
Because he brings in the whole production crew, right?
Right, exactly.
He brings in what? Like, a man dressed as a Native American, a man dressed as a cop. Like, it's playing off of the village people.
Right.
The dancer has the massive cod piece. Then they have the lesbian that walks in. Keep it gay.
Exactly.
Keep it gay, keep it gay. My favorite is when she goes, yeah. And they're like... But yeah, really funny stuff, and then... He ends up becoming the...
He's the director.
He's the director, yeah.
And he wants to make the show gay.
He wants to make sure as gay as possible.
As gay as possible. He wants to make it happy, so he changes the ending so that the Third Reich wins.
Exactly.
And you know what? I'd watch it.
Now we have to find
the actor.
Our Hitler.
The Hitler sequence, the montage of actors auditioning, is one of my favorite parts.
Yes.
I do like the Wandering Minstrel.
Yes. Nope.
Just anyone with a shred of talent walking through is immediately kicked out.
The little wooden boy.
But finally, we are led to our man who will eventually become the Hitler, a man named LSD.
Yep. Played by the ever incomparable Dick Shaw. Dick Shaw?
Dick Shaw.
Dick Shaw.
Like a rickshaw.
Put
your Dick Shaw on a rickshaw.
He is one of my favorite parts of this whole film. I love... Well, you know me, I'm a hippie.
No.
I love it. The introduction to him in his... That is one of my favorite scenes of this movie is Love Power.
Alright, this is where we're gonna extremely differ. I think there's nothing... This is the one aspect of the film I think that keeps it... And homophobia. But the one comedic aspect of the film that makes me... it's just so dated.
Well, I mean, but exactly, you know, when the movie comes out, it's 68. So you have to go in knowing that the hippies are on the rise, love power is on the rise, flower power is on the rise. It's his take on that whole thing. I love the random women in go-go dresses playing the instruments, and one's playing a saxophone, but you don't hear a saxophone.
None of them are playing at all. One of them just staring at him the whole time, just going like this.
Yes, love power. He has the cymbal fingers, and he's clapping them. I went to a cop, and it went to the bar. I was like, yes, it's very that slam poetry in there as well.
Every time I watch this movie, it's this one part that I'm like, all right, I could like fast forward this, and I would not care if I missed it. I'm sorry to say, I know you like it.
I love LSD. I'm not afraid to say it, guys. I love LSD. All right, so we found our Hitler.
Hippie man.
We found the director. We found the play.
Not in that order.
Now let's stage it.
So they stage it.
Yes.
It's going up. It's opening night.
Springtime for Hitler by Max Bialystock and Leo Bloom.
Everybody's excited. Everybody's gonna be there. Let's just get right into Springtime for Hitler.
Yeah. We start with the opening musical number. It's Springtime for Hitler and Germany. Written by Mell Brooks.
A great song.
Yeah. Winter for Poland and France. Honestly, if you listen to it without lyrics, if you were just like hum that, that's a great show tune. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's a iconic show tune. It works, and it works really well.
This is the standout moment from the show.
We have dancing Nazis.
Yes.
We have them going.
Can I say that if you're in the audience and you're not in like a balcony, the swastika probably wouldn't track. You know what I mean? Like there's a section where there's dancers line up at the shape of swastika and they goose step. Swastika.
I don't know if you've ever actually seen this staged or this part. They actually will have a big mirror that is at an angle.
That's cool.
So it'll
that's cool.
Yeah, so they have a big mirror that's at the back of the stage that's angled, so when they do it, everyone, even in like the first row, can see like that reflection.
See, that makes sense because you wouldn't, because it's very clearly an aerial view, and you wouldn't get that if you sit down here.
Exactly,
and these people...
so we have that great little part. You hear Mel Brooks' voice a little bit in there too.
Is that him? When he don't be stupid.
Yeah, that's Mel Brooks.
Right, that's what
Don't be stupid, be a smarty. Come and join the Nazi party.
But it's not. Obviously, that's not him dancing.
But I do like the addition in the musical of, "Me, I come from Dusseldorf, and that is why my name is Rolf." Like, I love it. It's just those little tiny things. But
so Max and Leo say for the beginning of the show, they're like, "Oh man, people hate it. People are already walking out."
Yep.
They scamper away to a bar to celebrate.
Plastered
with their drunk friend at the bar.
Yep, their random drunk friend that they just keep giving drinks to.
So they don't see the show Springtime for Hitler as it commences.
Yep.
Which, as people are walking out, they see LSD as Hitler acting a fool, being the most outrageous hippy-dippy.
This is why I love Dick Shaw so much. Ik liefde niets. Ik liefde niets. Oh, come on, I already told you I'd leave you, baby. Why you leave me alone?
I like him in Springtime for Hitler. I don't enjoy the song that he sang. I don't enjoy Love Power, but I would say his performance in the play does make me laugh.
One of my favorite moments in that whole thing is when they're winning, and I think it was, I forget who you mentioned earlier.
Joseph Goebbels.
Yeah,
Goebbels. Clark Gable.
Clark Goebbels.
Hitler's propagandist.
Yep, walks right in and goes, "What's up, cat?" And they give it like the best hand smack. It doesn't lampoon the whole Nazi party.
And people are loving it. People are laughing.
People are laughing because they get it.
These caricatures of Hitler being such an idiot.
What they think wasn't supposed to happen completely happened.
And that's the joke. And that's where, can I ask you a question then? Is Springtime for Hitler as a comedy parody musical that comes out in the end of the 60s, like Springtime for Hitler, not the producers, is it a good show? Based on what we see, is this show a good show?
If I were in the audience, I would enjoy it. I would very much enjoy it.
Because this is probably the first time that someone's really taken the piss out of Hitler, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, Mel Brooks he's really one of the first people to really take the piss out of Hitler.
Right, okay, so there you go.
Make it okay to laugh at him.
Right, exactly.
I mean, he's the most feared man in history. He's one of the worst men in history of all time. He's an evil human being, and
goes without saying.
We shouldn't even be mentioning him in standard conversation, but to look at him and make him...
people do it online all the time.
And make him a butt of the joke. And I feel like now you can even... So much time has passed that now you have, Jojo Rabbit with Taika Waititi playing a Hitler.
That's funny, that we're talking about this.
They even also now have... I mean, Hitler makes an appearance in The Last Crusade of Indiana Jones.
Yes.
You know, and he signs, a journal. So it's like Hitler signing autographs. You wouldn't have seen that in any film up until that one or something.
There's The Boys of Brazil, which I believe is about Hitler cloning. I might be wrong.
There's that newer indie film, The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot.
Starring Sam Elliott.
Yes.
I pulled that out of there.
Who was also in a great Doritos commercial.
We're just doing 7 degrees of separation.
Yep, exactly. So, but yeah, let's get back into what we were talking about.
The audience, they love Springtime for Hitler.
Love it.
Oh, I didn't get an answer. Is Springtime with Hitler a good show? I'm gonna say yes.
Written out, no. The way after they add the director and everything, yes.
Exactly, with that performance,
yep.
I think, yeah, it's a good show.
I do love the fact that the German director, Franz Liebken,
the writer.
Gets so, the writer, gets so, so he goes off to try and kill them.
Right, exactly, and people are like, oh, this is part of the show.
Yeah.
That would be funny to see in a theater, just like,
yeah.
oh, that's the fake writer writing, like, speaking.
Like, plant him in the audience and have him go crazy.
That's a pretty good gag if even planned out.
Exactly.
So the audience, they love the show.
Yep.
It's gonna play for years. Max and Leo, they're fucked.
They are fucked to high heaven. They've sold close to what, like 600% of the shares of their show?
I think they've shown thousands of percentages. Yes. So much so, they're never gonna pay back all their investors. No. They're gonna go to jail.
Yes.
Unless...
So they pull out a last-ditch effort.
Unless they do something.
My favorite is when they grab Franz.
They grab Franz Liebken, who is there to kill them because he thinks they've made a mockery of his play.
And Bialystok, so cleverly turns it around.
He's got the silver tongue.
No, it was the director. The director did this to your show.
You have to blow up the theater.
It's the actors. You have to, yeah. So
that's what they go do.
Yep.
They go and blow up the theater. Mm-hmm. This is what I forgot. This is how this has ended because I'm usually thinking about the musical version. Yep. In the place of this blowing up the theater sequence, you would have Max singing Betrayed, which is one of my favorite songs from the musical because it basically recaps the show up until that point.
Yep.
Just for laughs, and he does it like in like a couple of minutes. But here we have the blowing up the theater. With it's like almost like MS Paint fire explosion, like YouTube video explosion, which I love, obviously, because
very camp.
It's like how are we gonna do this? Oh, let's just do it the easiest, cheapest way possible.
Exactly.
After the explosion,
yes,
they are found in a courthouse where they are found guilty, and they are found to be best friends.
Yes.
After all this, Max and Leo are best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And Leo gives a touching, I was going to say eulogy, but he's not that. A touching final word about Max before they're sent up to jail. Mm-hmm. Can I say that their relationship does get a little sensual in this?
Yeah, it's a very handsy friendship.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's okay.
Exactly. Right? It's 2020. We're fucking our friends now.
It's just... It cuts.
I just no, but
no, it is. It's just it's interesting.
I mean, even for 1968, you don't see that.
Right.
You know what I mean,
exactly.
There's the buddy, but not really so much as like you're a good friend of mine.
Right.
A wanton friend.
Wanton?
A wanton
You can say it every time. A wanton.
Yeah. A wanton friend.
A wonton friend.
A wanton friend.
So, final scene, we see them in jail. Yep. They're putting up another musical called Prisoners of Love.
Prisoners of Love.
And they're back
Blue skies above.
They're back to their old antics of overselling stock for this show.
Yep.
Even selling 100% of the stock to the warden of the prison.
Yes.
And that's where we leave them.
Yep.
And that's the film.
And that's the film. Something we didn't mention is Ulla.
Ulla's
my favorite in this film.
Ulla, Swedish?
Swedish, yep.
A Swedish receptionist.
Yes. My favorite is scene when they just leave her dancing. And just like they'll walk through and she just...
When I first saw this, that made me laugh so hard. It's like... Because she's still there. She's just still there dancing.
Yep.
Just behind this door while getting shot at. It's very funny.
Very objectifying.
It is. This role is very... objectifying.
I mean, even in the musical, I would say it's even less because it's more of a speaking role.
Right, and she even gets her own song.
Yeah, she gets If You Got It, Flaunt It, and she gets the duet.
Right, with Leo.
With Leo, yeah.
And they end up together in the stage production.
Exactly,
There's more of a relationship there, whereas obviously here she's just like Max's.
She's the sex
Max's toy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what he says.
Mm-hmm. At one point, doesn't he just go, "You Swedish tease"?
It does have my favorite line where they're face to face, and he just goes, "You'll bury me." That line gets me every time. I was gonna call you Leo, but Richard.
Yes. Well, I feel like we kind of have a persona of almost like a producer's feel.
Because I'm a big old fatty man.
And I...
You do accounting.
I do accounting, and I'm Gene Wilder, and I go crazy. No, but yeah, so let's kind of compare it to the newer musical that we have.
The musical movie is okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It feels too polished.
I'm not the biggest fan of Matthew Broderick.
Same.
I feel like this is one of the roles where he actually shines the most.
I think he does well in this role. I think he works well against Nathan Lane.
His freak out or his hysterics is one of my favorite things to watch.
See,
you fat fatty walrus, and his face goes up and crazed, and he just goes, and he kind of goes in it. I love that.
See, when I see Gene Wilder do that, I'm like, all right, that's funny. But when I see Matthew Broderick, I'm like, it just feels forced.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe I just have a bias.
And I mean, I do like Nathan Lane a lot.
Nathan Lane.
He's a great comedic.
Nathan Lane's a little treasure.
He's a little gay treasure. He's a little gay cupcake.
He is.
And people go, "Here's some Nathan Lane," and you're like, "Yes, please." He was amazing on Modern Family.
Oh yes.
That's Pepper.
Yes.
Timon. Come on.
Those other things that he does. He did actually with another Matthew Broderick. Him and Matthew Broderick did production of The Odd Couple for a little bit there.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, nice. And what's great is that so this was originally a musical before, or originally a Broadway musical before the film came out.
Right. It goes film, musical, film. And some of the things, especially in the musical film, that doesn't really translate well from stage is. There's a great gag in the film, you know it, is when... Oh, I know it.
It's right before Ula and Leo's duet song before they shtup. And it's, she goes, "Why Leo moves so far camera right?" It works so much better on stage because on stage they go, "Why Leo moves so far stage right?"
Right,
Which
exactly.
is funnier on stage because you're in that fourth wall breaking. Granted, this one, I feel like it's fourth wall breaking the entire time. For fourth wall's sake.
And to go back to the original, you can't have a Mell Brooks film without fourth wall break jokes.
Exactly.
It can't happen.
Oh man, there will never be a Mell Brooks film where he doesn't
break the fourth wall.
Make fun of the film that he's already making.
Yes, exactly.
Well, except the producers, he doesn't really make fun of the film he's making in the producers.
But there are still fourth wall break jokes in the producers,
especially like asides to the camera and everything like that.
Exactly, just little things. Exactly. I would definitely put this film, the original 68 version, over the 2005 music version.
I would also as well.
Even though I do love the music from that.
You also get more of Springtime for Hitler. You get more of the play that was supposed to be shown.
It goes from Springtime for Hitler to another song called Heil Myself, which Hitler sings.
Which is hilarious.
It's an amazing song about how he's great.
Heil myself. Heil to me, I'm the kraut that's out to change our history.
And I do like it for that aspect. And if you haven't listened to it, that was actually, transition time. You like music.
Yes.
It's time for the records portion of this show.
Yay!
I don't know if you have anything, but I was just going to suggest, if you haven't listened to the doubleheader of Springtime for Hitler and Heil Myself, from either the 2005 film or the original Broadway cast of producers, that's going to be my pick for this week.
Yeah, I would also agree with you. It's you have to go in knowing that this is making fun of one of the worst men on earth.
Right, exactly. And if you've seen this film, you already have an idea. So
exactly.
I would also, if you have seen this film, I would also say check out Betrayed, also from the musical that I spoke about earlier. It's easy to jump into because you've seen the movie.
Great songs. Till Him.
Yeah, Till Him I enjoy.
I like Till Him. I don't know if you saw, so Mel Brooks was just awarded the Kennedy Center honors.
That makes sense.
And so they actually came out and did a bunch of songs from his movies, and Matthew Broderick came out and did Till Him, but dedicated it to Mel Brooks. And every time he said Till Him, they actually moved like a cutout of Mel Brooks doing something.
That's nice.
Martin Short did Blazing Saddle, which was great. He wrote a Blazing Saddle. I'm trying to remember who else.
Did they sing the Spaceball song?
There's no song in Spaceball.
Yes, there is. I only know that because I watched it today.
Is a song?
It just goes, it's like the most generic 80s sounding song. It just goes, Spaceball.
Yeah, it's a theme of the movie.
Right, exactly.
But nothing where it's like done in production.
Right.
Like, because even Blazing Saddle, like, you have In the Town of Rock Ridge, and you have I'm Tired, which is a great one.
Oh, we gotta wait.
Yeah, we gotta wait for that one. But yeah, I mean, the musical has such great. If You Got It Flaunted is a great one.
It's a glorious song.
We Can Do It is an awesome rile-up song.
We Can Do It, opening night.
Yep.
It's Bad Luck to Say Good Luck.
Yep.
We could list them all, but we're not gonna.
Along Came the Alley. I love that one.
So we're not gonna. It's a tap dance number with walkers.
Yes.
Come on. That's inspired. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite part of this film?
Oh, yeah. So my favorite part of this film is Love Power. And I know you hate it.
That's my least favorite. Before we get to that question,
all right, that's one of my favorite things, just because it just so lampoons the '60s and that hippies, and I love all that culture and stuff. And like, I read Ginsberg, so I get it.
Oh, excuse me.
I read Ginsberg. So, all right, your favorite part?
I think it's got to be those opening title shots. Yep. I think it just sets up the comedy so well without saying a word. Like, obviously there's comedy in the scene that's happening in the intro, but, you know, I'm going to do that again. One more time, I'm sorry. Ask me what my favorite part was.
What was your favorite part, Ben?
You know what?
Yeah,
I was just like,
what's your favorite part, Ben?
Just so angry. What was your favorite? Fucking. Go ahead.
Alright, what's your favorite part, Ben?
I would have to say the opening title sequence. I really love the punctuation of the comedy. It's so effortlessly done.
Yep.
They're so perfectly placed within the scene that's happening. It adds to the comedy so well.
Yep.
And it sets up the humor for the film. It makes you ready.
It very much does.
And it has a Springtime for Hitler overture.
Yes, which is great.
So,
let's see. Oh yeah, so we know your least favorite part.
LSD.
Well, yeah, elaborate on it.
More like laughed, still dated.
All right. I'd say my least favorite part is when they're getting drunk at the bar next door during the play. I just don't think there's enough in there to.
Yeah, it's a little slow.
Enough substance.
It slows down a little bit when they're in the bar.
But that's just pedantics at this point. So, how did this movie make you feel, Ben?
It made me feel.
Okay. It made me laugh.
It made me hate Hitler even more.
It does. It honestly does, because now this movie said it's okay to laugh at him.
Stupid
and
Hitler.
make fun of them and do that stuff. So,
and we should just mock the people who are ruining the world. Exactly.
If you guys want to see a great documentary on the subject of laughing in times of hardship, look up The Last Laugh. It's on Netflix. Mel Brooks is a big part of that documentary, but they talk to a lot of like prominent Jewish people in show business, Sarah Silverman, people like that. So they work and they bring you to a point where you can then say, it's okay to laugh.
It's always okay to laugh.
It's always okay to laugh.
How else are you going to get through life?
Amen. All right, guys.
On that touching note.
Yes.
Don't touch notes.
Yes.
Unless it's on a keyboard.
Yeah.
So that wraps our producer's discussion up.
Yep.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, put it in the comments down below.
Send us a pigeon with your thoughts.
Put us in the comments down below.
And you know, like, subscribe, do all that shit.
Smash, fucking just pummel that like button.
Jesus.
Hit the little bell so you know when we have another episode coming out. Whatever you want to do.
Next time on Records and Reels,
we go from one kind of racist picture to a very racist picture.
We're doing Blazing Saddles.
We're doing Blazing Saddles.
We're doing Blazing Saddles, folks. So join us next time on Records and Reels. You come back now here. Goodbye, everybody.
Y'all come back now here.